The weather, I think, was significant for us today. We've had some tough situations when it comes to weather. Thought our defense played really well and consistent all day long, especially after the onside kick and the fumble. We got to a point of the game where the field position was swinging, we weren't punting real well, and I think that factored in. We also had a kick out of bounds, which factored in. So our defense was put in a few tough situations and handled it extremely well. Thought we were much more aggressive on offense in the passing game, made some plays. Still feel like we left some yards on the field, but did some nice things. It was a great team win. Talked to our guys about thanking everybody in the locker room, the trainers, the doctors, the managers, everybody, because everybody had a part in it. Thought the scout team was excellent this week. So, the fact that we didn't have Akeel Lynch or Saquon Barkley, that we were still able to run the ball, I think is a sign of confidence in those guys that we're going to be able to do some things with them as well. It's another example, guys. I know you guys get upset on Monday when the depth chart comes out, but we were hopeful we were going to have a few of those guys back, and we're told that we wouldn't have them available late in the week. So, hopeful again. The depth chart will come out again on Monday. You guys will probably comment about how it hasn't changed a whole lot, and you'll find out on game day who's playing. Open up the question.
Coach, raise your hand, we'll get right to you.
James, what went into being more aggressive on offense? Did you see something on film with Indiana? How much did the weather play into that? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's really, guys, the same things I've been talking about for 4 weeks, that we were going to have to play a certain style over the next couple weeks to allow our offensive line time to mature. The weather factored into that. We played 3 games in pretty significant rain. So it was all those things. And it was at one point, I think those guys were number 4 in the country in rush defense, that everybody in the box, they were basically daring you to throw the ball. So we knew we were going to have to do that. So it was all those factors. It really probably came down to, we just wanted to play as ugly football as we possibly could for 4 weeks, because we were just saving all that stuff up for this week.
James, Christian was able to do some things with his legs today, scoring a couple touchdowns, running for some yardage. How important is that in terms of keeping a defense honest?
Really important, really important. Throwing the ball away, he did that a couple times today, which is important for us. Stepping up in the pocket, going through his progression, if it's not there, being a threat to run the ball. It causes headaches. I'm on the defensive headset trying to help those guys out during the game, and it's a pain. You drop back, you got everybody covered, and now the quarterback is willing to pull it down and go get your first down. We talked to a lot of people in the offseason, and everybody talks about 2 first downs. If a quarterback can get 2 first downs a game for you with his legs, you're going to be in really good position. And Christian was able to do that today. I've been saying for a while he has the ability to do that, and it showed up today. I think now we'll have conversations about him being a dual threat quarterback and installing the options.
James, along those lines, on the other side of the ball, you said talking about the biggest challenges we would be preparing for both of the quarterbacks. How do you think your defense did corralling Diamont, especially after he got a couple drives under his belt?
Yeah, it's a pain. It's not easy. You got one quarterback who's 6'6", 240 pounds, and is a traditional pocket passer. And then you got another guy who's 5'11", 170 pounds, and went for a 78-yard scramble against Ohio State for a touchdown. So you talk about 2 completely different game plans. But to me, the game of football, week in and week out, comes down to fundamentals and techniques, and your training and your skills. And you look at penalties, we're doing a good job with that. We're still hurting ourselves in situations on offense. The turnover battle, we said all week was going to be significant. We've done a good job of that. Grant Haley is a guy we've talked about in the past. The ball just seems to like him. The ball comes to him all the time, whether it's fumble recoveries or interceptions. That was a big play in the game for us as well.
James, did you guys make the decision at halftime to try Tyler for the next placement kick, or what was the decision behind that after Joey missed a 2 field goal or extra points? And where do things stand with that going forward?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. We missed 2 extra points. We put the next guy in. Sir?
My question is, do you work out? You look pretty good running down the sideline for that timeout today.
No, I actually look decent, but if I take my shirt off, it's somewhat disgusting. I'm a skinny, fat guy. But no, I need to do something. I need to, the staff tries to get on the treadmill or do something. Every time I say I'm going to do it, something comes up. But I need to get some exercise. But I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Good job, Earl. James, I was just wondering, Polk becoming a little more of a vertical threat today and what he brings to the pass game.
Yeah, obviously we all see the guy can flat out run. He needs to continue to develop in terms of the mental aspect of the game. The more things he gets confident with, that we can expand his role, then you become less predictable, obviously. But I do think that the speed sweeps, as well as the fake speed sweeps and handoff, it gives the defense pause. It gives the defense pause. He's got such speed, and he's so sudden with his movements that if you're not sound, he's going to get on the edge of you. And now you fake those things and you use some play action passes off it as well. He's just got to continue to grow. His package is, as long as he knows what he's doing and is confident with his assignments, his package can continue to grow.
Coach, could you assess Andrew Nelson's play in his first game back after coming back from injury?
Yeah, I thought it was significant getting those guys back, especially Andrew Nelson up front. He's a leader for us. Plays at a real high level. Felt like he was practicing and playing at an extremely high level before he got hurt. So having him back was big. Having Bell back, having Lucas and Marcus and all those guys back was significant for us. It looked like we got out of this game fairly healthy, and I'm hopeful that we can get a few more guys back for our next week's game. I'm not sure who we got, but for our next week game.
James, you guys had like big play cards, play boards on the sideline. I haven't seen that before. Was that something you wanted to use to maybe because they were using two quarterbacks, or what do you gain by using that?
We found out that they spend a lot of time trying to kind of figure out your calls on the sideline. That's kind of the word on the street. So those signs, they allow us to use the signs to get our plays in, signals to get our plays in. You can use numbers with wristbands to get your plays in. So we just want to make sure that we have 3 different ways to call our defenses in, just to make sure. It's probably coaches and us just being paranoid, but we'd love to have 3 different ways to get our calls into our defense.
Coach, you are 5 straight home games, 5-0. Now that you guys head onto the road, do you think you guys are ready with the support of the fans behind you?
Say that again?
So after 5 straight home games, you now have a road game. Do you think you guys are prepared to head on the road and take a road test after having 5 straight games with this home crowd supporting you?
Our weekly press conference is what, Wednesday or Tuesday? Yeah, so that'll be a question for Tuesday. I want to enjoy today. I want to talk about today's game. I want to have 3 hours of sanity. And then tomorrow we'll start talking about the next opponent, and Tuesday after practice we'll have our little press conference and we can talk about those things, our preparation to go on the road.
James, you haven't had Saquon or Akil the last couple of weeks, but you mentioned having Mark and Nick. I guess those 2 guys kind of being on the same level, being the same year, how have they helped one another, and how has it maybe helped them both be able to split the load evenly and both run hard?
Yeah, I think it's been nice. They complement each other very well. They both are running extremely hard. I've been pleased with that. I still think there's times where we're one-on-one and we got to make the one guy miss or break tackles more consistently. But I thought those guys have been great. They've been very supportive of one another. I think Huff's done a great job with the group as a whole. And that's why depth and that's why development and that's why recruiting are so important.
Time for 2 more.
Coach Franklin, just talk to me quick about what it means to have Adam Brennan back on the sideline, fully dressed, back with the team.
He's been with the team the whole time. Yeah, so he's been great. The fact that his pads are on or his pads are off doesn't change the influence he's had on our team.
You mentioned at the beginning the defensive stops after the onside kick and the fumble. Did you get a sense at the time, or could you tell the players that those were huge momentum switch changes when the defense got those 2 stops in particular?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was significant in the game. The way our guys handled it, we spent a lot of time talking about and handling sudden change situations like that. And I thought our guys responded extremely well. They responded extremely well to that. That could have been a situation where they gained some momentum, making some plays after that. And I thought our guys responded really well. I thought our defense called a really good game. The tempo simplifies you in some ways. and we didn't try to get too complex and allow our kids to play today. I thought that really helped us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.